This is another New Covenant testimonial video that we're going to share with our online community. I want everybody to introduce themselves first and foremost. Of course, I'm serving the illustrious Supreme Grand Apple Session of New Covenant community and my lovely wife, Nisu Ted. I'm in that center of Tumre. We're here interviewing
Salam Muhammad Ali.
That's right.
My wife.
Amika Ali. This is Emmanuel Asar Ali.
Should let him speak for himself. And on this side, to our left,
Jamal Bay.
Alexandria Bay.
that's right, his lovely wife. And
This is Osar, 5 days old, Osar Bay. Can't see his face, but he's there.
alright, so there's two main things we want to hit on today, and that's the fact that New Covenant culture, we're real big, and on this we implore that we have home births in our community for a number of reasons. Of course, the couple right here has had a home birth. How was the experience in contrast to a hospital birth?
It was beautiful. I mean, I've never had a hospital birth, but all the information that I had in comparison, I knew that there was no other option. You know, we didn't have the experience of being pushed with drugs or all those hospital interventions. It was a very holistic experience. We took CMOS instead of synthetic prenatal pills. We had a Doppler, so we didn't have a lot of what are those, ultrasounds. And then with the actual home birth, we had the experience of being able to walk around, and I could lay down, birth in the tub, just however was comfortable for me. And I know at a hospital, they lay you down, and you just have to do whatever the nurses and the doctors say. So we had a lot of control in the home birth. So it was a beautiful experience.
It's powerful. So this one right here, he's
Yeah.
blessed.
Yeah.
This is the product.
Yeah, this is the product.
So to speak.
He's brilliant, he's strong, you can tell. And what's going on with y'all? You just recently had this baby. How long ago? Tuesday,
February 26th, 3:38 in the morning. Actually, while you guys were at the auction, I was in labor, basically.
Wow.
And and the labor was nice and slow to wait for Daddy until he was finished so we can come here and have it right. And I think that one of the most important things about highlighting why we need to do home births in our community is because we don't get the kind of quality care we need in the hospital as Black women. And there's just the statistics show that, you know, in terms of like maternal mortality rates, infant mortality rates, and all that. So I think that home birth would be a great option for us to not only empower ourselves, have more control over the environment, but also to, you know, be bearing strong, healthy kids into this world. So yeah, everything about my home birth was amazing. Just even getting the counseling leading up to my home birth was amazing. Meeting with my midwife every couple of weeks, you know, having that one-on-one contact and all that was amazing. And then the birth itself, we're women, it's natural. You know what I mean? It's like, it's nothing.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. So it just felt very much like, you know, like just how it was supposed to be.
So what's up? Did the brothers gain weight and have symptoms?
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. For Andre, I gained all the weight I was doing. I don't grow up. I grew up galore. I was waking up. I don't know what it was, but I was going through things, and she was looking at me like, "Pull yourself together, man."
Like, I'm pregnant here. I know. I didn't believe her.
You gain weight and everything. Going through emotions.
All this stuff was going on, having night sweats. I was just like,
It's
like,
true,
what's
man.
going on? And it's true. Because I would say, babe, you know, something's wrong, my shoulders is hurting. She's like, my shoulders too. It was crazy. And I'm still working, you know, we still just working it off right now.
That's right.
She's getting slimmer, I'm getting slimmer. So,
Yeah, that's right.
I'm working it off.
It's
It was
powerful.
good.
That's
It
a
was
connection
good.
right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
For all the brothers out there, you know, to literally be able to hold and catch your baby. Like,
Oh man,
as
that's
soon
right.
as he or she
To
comes
be the
out,
first one,
and
man.
be the first ones to touch your baby, and hand the light off to the queen. That's something that, man, it's priceless. You ain't gonna get that in the hospital. They're gonna whisk your baby away.
That's right.
Hit them with the shots. Who knows what they extract DNA, melanin, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, whatever they doing behind them closed doors, making melatonin pills. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
And the placenta, taking that, and it has so much genetic material. You know, most High knows what they do with it, amongst many other things.
I have his cord actually. We just got to dry it out today. So I have his cord over there actually.
We made pills out of the placenta. You know, for her her postnatal health and nutrition, and of course, you know, the baby forever have his DNA, you know, in the umbilical cord.
That's right.
Yeah.
We planted our joint. But every replant, we have the baby revisited. You know, every year. It's powerful, and I mean, to not have your child subject to those bright halogen lights, it's a shock to the central nervous system of the child. It deadens the guardian to the child, you know, before they even have an opportunity to thrive in this world, amongst many other things. So we always employ that. We have the home birth. So I'm proud of y'all and the fact that, you know, despite what everyone says out there and all the problems and the potential complications you could have, to do something so natural, you know, it's tricky because you're led to believe you need to use that medium or that venue because there are things in that venue that you don't have in your house. You don't have the fancy carts with the wheels and these 2-3 inch needles. You start being led to presume that you must be in that environment because, hey, my house doesn't come with these type of supplies. But that's just the technology that they added to the circumstance, and in order to make you feel like that you're not doing something you're supposed to do. Because just 50 years ago, people were giving birth to their children in homes.
Yeah, I mean, especially black people, we weren't allowed in hospitals. So it was just like my grandmother had all her kids at home.
That's right.
The segregation was like,
especially in the South.
yeah.
And everybody should feel that they can do this. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do this because you can do this. I didn't know I could do this. We didn't know we could do it. So Brother Polight started teaching on it, and he made us see that you can do this. So we did that.
That's right. And we generate our own sovereign affidavits of nativity, record the live birth of our child, reminiscent to that of the deed. It's on public record and notice. You know, the do's and the don'ts. We do the do's, you know, because it's better to get it in when the child is born as opposed for them to be subject to the state and then trying to put the process into retrograde or reciprocate it. It's better off if we don't have to always revoke something.
Right.
If we can just do it right the first time around, you know. So that's powerful. And you mentioned that while he was at the auction, obtaining properties, you was in labor. That's a powerful story to tell the child that you was engaging, you were in your inception in this newly found real estate paradigm as it relates to the new covenant way of purchasing property, to be able to go in there and get property 3-4 times more plus what it's worth. I think that's phenomenal that story can be told about where Daddy was during the time of labor. You know, you won. You won twice. You got new property and you got the child. And what's powerful about it is I met you in person. You've been a member of New Covenant. However, I met you in person, probably like 9 days prior to you purchasing. And you was like, hey, you know, I want to get out there and get it in. I want to get this property. How soon we can do it? You know, about 9 days later, you know, child born, and you got that investment going. That's, you'll go get it, man. And the child is going to be proud of you, man.
You know, I mean, anyone who you know, isn't on this program or this plan by now, you know, I don't know what to tell y'all. You know, because at this point, you know, if you got a family,
that's right.
And
that's what
you
it's
know,
all about.
You really want to think about your future, you know. Forget all these games. There ain't nothing other right now. There's nothing other than building your assets and your equity, which will lead you on your spiritual path.
That's right.
To being the true God. And there's nothing else more than that.
Spiritual economics.
And spiritual economics, and so you know, New Covenant Brother Polight has embraced me as if I'm family, and likewise.
Because you are, that's right.
You know, and so, you know, we in my house right now. He's like my brother. He can sleep on my couch right now.
I feel like I'm 27-hour drive. That's right. So, we embrace that, man. My brother right here, and you know, y'all doing a great thing, and many exceptional tasks in New Covenant. And you also got a chance to experience the auction and leave out there with an asset. And I want you to expound on how you feel. First of all, what was the demographic of the room? Like, what was the racial structure of the room when you was in there?
I would say at least 60% was Asian. Where, yeah, they were in their...
They was in the building.
Yeah, they were in the building, and then maybe another, what, 38% were Caucasian, and then the rest were us. And
miscellaneous.
Exactly.
Hybrids of all sorts of cultures.
Right. Exactly.
If someone was black, it was part of our group.
Yeah, it was us. Exactly. Right. That was it. And that was amazing. That was eye-opening because, I mean, there were those properties there, and it's like you couldn't believe the prices.
Especially the, like, $248,000 property for $20,000.
Oh, yeah.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah. And it was like, our community, a lot of us, we really needed to be in there because we're the ones that are really suffering deeply from this
we're the least likely to
recession/depression right now. Exactly.
Right. Least likely to get it. Research Institute will tell you that anybody making $100,000 or less in the interim of them retiring, they will be thrusted into poverty. All right, and these are statistics that we have to take serious.
Right, but they don't lie.
Well, we don't like. I realize we don't like looking into the future. Right. We don't like looking into that crystal ball. We like to talk about what's going on now. We gotta get this money now. We gotta make this thing happen. It's very hard to get people, especially in the 35 and older generation, to conceptualize how to plan for something that transpires 20, 30 years from now. You know, you have to be cultivated to think like that. Right. You know, because what we're used to is, yo, if I give you $200, how soon can I make it 400? Yeah. And you say, give it 2 weeks. 2 weeks? Man, I'm just spending it right now, man. I ain't got no time for that. You know, that so the mentality is ill.
10% return like that.
You know, it's ill. You know, so we don't have patient money. Right. It's a whole different philosophy. We have to be able to look at something and say, I'm willing to wait 10 years to see how it looks. Now, everything doesn't go like that, granted, and we can't afford to wait for 10 years for every investment, true. Right. But the more quality investments is what we're talking about, being able to be accessible to help your progeny, your children. You know, you have to, if you're no good to no one else if you're not good to yourself. Right. So what happens when you're in your 50s or your 60s and your children have to rely on you, but you have nothing to offer? It's going to kill you in your old age. Right. In fact, it will kill you quicker. Yeah. Knowing that you can't do for someone that you love and care about. So we have to be able to start having a vision for what transpires 20, 30 years from now. And we can't rely on the pension solely because what $40,000 or $100,000 represents today, because of hyperinflation, it means something totally different. It contrasts immensely. 20, 30 years from now is nothing, which is why many people that retire have to go and apply for another job and have a lower probability of actually getting the job because of their age in the first place. Right. So money changes, and that's why we need the astrologer of money, the economist. It gives us an ideal perspective of how money, or the interpretation of money, or interpretation of equity, years to come, so we can prepare. So right now we have that interpretation. We have to prepare. We have to make sure that we're in the $150,000 plus echelon. Right. In order for us to have anything to invest in. If you don't have monies to invest, then you don't have no future. And that's how it is, unfortunately, in a capitalistic construct. What you gonna do about it? Complain about it and be thrusted into poverty, or accept the conditions that are and maneuver through the fox paths of this de facto system, and in turn possibly bestow upon the children that to come a legacy that they can be able to use to enhance the perspective of credit and finance in their day. But we just can't sit here and moan and groan about it.
No,
we have to put something together, you know. And that's what this is all about, just planning on a state level, community-wise. And if we can get each individual to be successful, then we can rely on the networking of those successful individuals to put something more deep and profound together. But first we have to establish individual success amongst us all. And then we network all those individually successful beings to lighten the burden on each individual to prepare a more conducive environment for their children. You see? So we have to do it individually, but ultimately we understand that we have to put it together. You know, but it'll hurt if you got a group of people in there that all know they need change but can't afford to do nothing for themselves. Then what they're going to do as a group will complain and encourage each other to do wrong, illegal, hateful things. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we stuck with. A lot of our groups are just frustrated. They all sitting in there and they all broke. So if you have a bunch of broke people together that's upset about capitalism, they're going to wind up being very racist or slanderous. They're going to be wanting to kill somebody. They're not really going to kill them. And if they wanted to, they won't have the funds or the resources to get the weapons that they need to get the killing going. So you don't want a group of poor, righteous people in the room, because eventually they become very bitter and they make these nonsensical comments, and then they're no good to each other because all of them become a bad influence. It starts off with a positive momentum because everybody wants change and everybody ultimately wants a better lifestyle for themselves and their family. But if you keep that same group of people there together and you don't teach them how to sustain themselves financially, then those feelings are going to soon transmute into something very negative, and then thus they will not be good influence to each other. It'll be very little productivity, and that's what we're suffering from right now.
Stagnation.
That's right. There's no resources to fuel a good idea. You know, ideas have to be funded. You know, if it's an idea worth monetary, if it's an idea worth having, it has to be funded.
Angel investors, that's what, you know, that's what big time players do. They go and they work the room, you know, they pitch their idea to people that got bread, that got money, and by the time they leave, they got checks. You know, we can't do that. We can't say, well, we want to go build this school. Let's get all the leaders in the black conscious community to pitch in, and hopefully we can leave with some money. Man, we leave in the rat. You know, we leave with less money than what we came with. You know, that's what these cats.
By the time we done,
they asking us for money. Like, brother, can I get a? You know, I spoke today. I need $10. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
And the people that do get something, there's this subtle conviction that if you're making money, then you should just give it all away if you're really conscious. It's like, I don't know where you came up with that. You know? All of us are our own responsibility. We network together and we build something great. But first you have to stand on your own 2 feet. Before you can make a list of demands about what another individual is supposed to get.
And don't make decisions based on inadequate information. Like, I'm not doing that, or basically individuals are not prospering because they don't want to research, or they don't want to listen, or they just don't want to, you know, tackle the challenge, or, you know, they just making decisions based on inadequate information. Like, I'm not doing that. You don't even know what you're missing out on, or what the particulars or what the components are that's gonna bring it all together. You know,
sometimes you gotta just sit back and just look. Like, it took me a little bit, really, just to be straight honest. Like, I didn't call Polite right away. Like, yo, you know, I had to really sit and just see what was going on. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of cats out there just with a lot of game, just a lot of mouthpiece. A lot of mouthpiece. And at this point in my life, I don't even talk about, it's not even mouthpiece anymore. You know, we can talk about metaphysical stuff. We can do that all day. You know, that's cool. I love that. Right. You know, but at the end of the day, like, if you jumping on the bus, if you jumping on the metro after we conversate, you feel me? Like, you kind of lose credibility to me. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So I at this point, I just stop talking and we just act. We just do action. We just do action. You know?
Right.
We homeschool.
That's right.
We do the eating. we do the home birth right, we do this real estate right, and we don't even have to, all that other, all that other just mouth, diarrhea of the mouth.
Yeah, there's no other way, there's no way out.
Says it all.
Says it all.
It will say it all.
That's
right.
it.
I homeschooled my child. Right. I had a home birth. Right. Just like you're saying.
Proof is in the pudding.
Yeah. There's no secret door. There's no secret way out. There's no secret recipe.
That's right.
You have to engage.
You have to engage. You have to.
Stop being so scary, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you wasn't.
Empower yourself.
You wasn't scary.
And then live.
You can't win if you don't play.
That's it. It wasn't scary to get that student learn.
Yeah.
It wasn't scary to get go to the hospital knowing that they said they had no cure, they only had a treatment. You didn't demand more of them, you didn't have a higher expectation of criteria, you took it. When you went to school and you paid those thousands of dollars for the student loan, they didn't guarantee you a job. They said most likely you'd be able to get it if you have this degree. Not only did they do that, they also made sure that whatever books you purchased, that they will not be able to be shared with the next generation of people that come in for the next semester. They make sure they revise those books. You're not sharing those books. So they hustle it. And they told you straight off the back, if you even think for 1 second, we're going to allow you to buy this book so you can thrive and then turn it over to your friend. You're seriously mistaken. Your friend is going to be in for a rude awakening. We change these books every semester. You know the effort that it takes to change the book? That effort, just the energy behind changing the books every semester. We ain't say every year, we said every semester. So, but there was no question behind it all. And now people out there stuck with student loans. When we bought those properties with mortgages on it, there was no questions. And now people owe $100,000, $200,000. There were no questions. So now the homie come in, and it's like, I understand he dropped out of school 10th grade. He used to be a Crips and Peers. So I understand. It's like, yo, I understand. Trust me. What must be going through people's minds. But I did create the system, and every now and then, it's true. We got people in our community create ideas too that work. You know, everyone else has it. Why we can't have people that come up with creative means, unique ways to thrive in society? It can happen. You know, but I always say that black people are more racist than every other race. And if you don't believe it, just sit in a position of leadership or be in a seat of success and see how you receive by your own. And you'll find out that we're more stigmatized by the generalizations about us than everyone else. You know, I've been heavily embracing all sorts of other circles, man. Especially Cali. Most of my classes in Cali, over half the room is always other than who I look like. And I say, wow, this is interesting. You know, it hurts sometimes, not because I'm